Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be looking at UAD's Astra pedal, the modulation machine by Universal Audio. So I got this pedal to have an accompaniment to the Prophet 08, as I kind of wanted to build a little effects chain for the Prophet, and I didn't really want to have a big pedal board, so to say. And that's when the Astra pedal kind of came out in 2021. So I picked one up. I've been using it for about a year or so, somewhere around there. And I'm finding the results to be quite an excellent pairing for the Prophet. Now on Reverb, these retail anywhere from like $240 all the way up to brand new, about $450 on average, I would say. So it is, in a sense, a little bit of a pricier pedal, and it is a digital pedal as well. There's a lot of analog modeling going on inside this pedal. So if you're an analog purist, this pedal probably isn't for you. But if you like to explore sonic possibilities in one small little box, kind of like I do, then this pedal is for you. Let's get into it. Okay, so here it is. This is the UAD Astra modulation machine. Now this is a stereo pedal, so it's got stereo ins, so channels 1 and 2, and then stereo outs 1 and 2, and then a 9-volt DC as well. I believe it is a special 9-volt DC, so I don't know if you can use regular guitar power supply to power this. Don't quote me on that. I've heard that's a thing. So just double check you have the right power supply if you do have one of these. Now this pedal, very simple. You just got the 6 knobs, and then you've got these dip switches. You've got your on and off, and then you can like do presets as well, which is quite handy. So yes, let's just get into listening to this. So I'm playing a patch off of the Prophet. Very simple little patch. So let's get into it. So this is a very interesting layout kind of pedal. So basically you get your options of what the preset is. So there's 5 different presets. Basically you get 3 to begin with, and then when you do the firmware update, you get an additional 2. Now I'm just reading this off my sheet because it's kind of hard to remember them all. So patch 1, you get a chorus brigade. Patch 2, you get a flanger doubler. Patch 3, you get a trem 65. Patch 4, you get a phaser X9D. And then patch 5, you get a Dharma trem 61. Now these are all analog modeled off of different pedals and different outboard pieces of gear, which is very unique for a pedal. Very unique for a pedal. So let's just start with the chorus brigade. Now, how it kind of works is you get a speed, a depth, an intensity, a shade, a shape, and a mode. Now you'll notice sometimes the little light flashes there, and that means that that knob will not do anything for this patch, so to say. So basically with this patch, all we have to be able to modulate is the speed and the depth on the chorus. Now on the mode, this basically switches between like a couple of different stereo modes, so to say. So like on the chorus, for example, right now we're on the classic. If I change that, it switches to a dual mode, so it's kind of like a dual chorus. And then the effects mode also kind of changes between, right now we are on a vibrato, and right now we are on a chorus. So just on one chorus preset, you get a lot of different options based on like stereo and depth and shade and all this kind of stuff. Now, the shade is a weird knob that I don't quite understand. The way they describe it is it adjusts the modulation character. I don't know if it has to do with like a waveform inside of there or like a color. Just a lovely chorus. Okay, so back to factory patch. Let's go to the flanger doubler. Just really thick effects out of this little pedal box. Okay, so with the flanger doubler, right now we are on the flanger mode. You can switch it over to the doubler. And basically the mode goes from normal or inverted, so it doesn't make too much a difference on a doubler. Just a lovely flanger. It's just thick and melds with the sounds so nicely. Okay, now let's go on to the next one, which is the Trem 65. Now, there's lots of how should I say, quotes out there that no one uses tremolos. I use tremolos all the time, and I've used this Trem 65 a number of times. It just pans around the stereo field so nicely, especially with the Prophet doing its pan spread. Okay, so right now we are on the dual mono mode, and it is set to a sine wave. So this is basically a sine wave. Square wave gets quite obviously choppy. And let's switch this over to the stereo panned. And this is where this tremolo really shines, when it's in the stereo panned mode, because it just kind of modulates across the stereo field. You just get that nice backdrop of a tremolo. It's a very, very interesting effect. Okay, now let's go into the presets that you essentially unlock when you do the firmware upgrade. So this goes from red over to green, and now we are in the Phaser X90, which is a very famous phaser pedal. And I believe with this one you only get, what is it, the speed and the shade. Helps if I turn it on. So basically we are on the block mode, whatever that means. This is the script mode, and right now we're in the 180-degree stereo offset, or you can go dual mono. Just so thick, and it adds such great harmony to the Prophet. Lovely phaser, that one. Now the last on the list is the Dharma Trem 61. Which is a very interesting one because it kind of like filters in a very weird way. So right now we're in the dual mono mode and the vibey setting. This is the classic setting, and now we can go on to the LFO stereo phase mode. It's like kind of straight out of a sci-fi movie, this one. It just adds weird kind of like rhythm to your patches. Like obviously this is an art, but it's just a very nice little rhythm, so to say. Very, very cool. Now, one thing you can also do, so this is where this little middle knob comes in. So what you do is you can hold it down, that'll flash, and it saves it as a preset. So now say if I change it back to, let's just go with that. I hit my preset button, I can switch over to that immediately. So if you have some settings that you really like on this, that's where you can just kind of save it as like a good starting point. Or even like if you're playing live, you get that one preset where you can kind of switch between like what you've been noodling on, and then you could go back to where it was, so to say. Very, very handy. I honestly love this pedal ever since I got it and paired it up with the Prophet. It has just been lovely. Just a great meld with the Prophet. I really have zero complaints whatsoever. It does as advertised. It is a digital pedal that does analog modeling, but I think it honestly just sounds fantastic. And that's coming from me, who has like way huge chorus pedals and a bunch of other different very well-known pedals that are quite expensive these days. I find that this pedal, it really holds its own place in the digital realm that sounds also analog. The modeling is just absolutely fantastic. So what would I score this pedal? I wish it had more effects, to be honest. Maybe in future firmwares they'd come out with more effects. Maybe they could add one more effect to this little green section. Maybe something like that, who knows? But for what you get 5 effects that just are incredible for modulation, in my opinion. They have done a fantastic job, and I would give this build quality solid. It's got nice like aluminum finish to it. I don't see this breaking anytime soon. 20. It gets a perfect score. This is honestly a perfect pedal to pair with synthesizers because you get the stereo in, the stereo out. You can also use it on guitar, and it's very lightweight for an effects unit that you could just kind of set up anywhere in your chain. Like you see, I just got it sitting on the edge of the Prophet. It's perfect fit. Look at that, just absolutely perfect fit. So yes, highly suggest the UAD Astra. Go out and buy one. So there it is, UAD's Astra pedal. Highly, highly suggest this little pedal. Pairs extremely well with synthesizers. I've never had any like sort of clipping issues that you have with some digital pedals. It sounds clean going in, clean going out. UAD did a fantastic job, and I kind of like how it's one of those pedals that is more for a synth. There's obviously lots of guitar pedals out there that are great for mono synths because obviously most guitar pedals are mono, but having a stereo pedal that you can use extremely well with synthesizers is a market that I feel needs to be explored further because there is a lot of us synth nerds out there that really do need their effects in these chains, and a lot of us have stereo synths, so why not come out with more stereo pedals? So my hat's off to UAD. I think they did a fantastic job on this. Go out and buy one, and let me know down in the comments, do you have any of the other UAD pedals? Because I am thinking about getting another one of the UAD pedals to kind of start pairing with different pieces of gear. It's just the perfect size and form factor, and I think they just sound fantastic. So let me know down in the comments which one you would suggest for me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We just hit 200 subs. Thank you, everyone. Major thumbs up to that. What is that? That's 20% to my goal of 1,000 subs. So make sure you subscribed if you haven't already. So we're going to end this video on a little bit of a different note because I have covered every single piece of gear in this studio that I want to cover and share with you all and kind of give my 2 cents on if you're looking to purchase said gear and you just want to hear someone explain how they use it or what they use it for, what it sounds like. Obviously the YouTube codec kind of bumps sound quality down a bit, so you don't really get a true sound. But the direction I want to go with this channel now is just exploring each synth further. And that is like my creative process and the part of the process that I enjoy so much, which is just creating patches and spending hours upon hours just kind of fine-tuning little synths here and there for each piece of music that I go to create. It is honestly one of my favorite things to do, and I'm sure if you're watching this channel it's one of your favorite things to do also. So we're going to start making patches and exploring each synth further and focus on little individual aspects of the synth that I feel you guys will find interesting. I know there's been a lot of hype behind my Access Virus video, so we'll probably start off with noodling around on the virus. Why not? And what my plan is too is I'll record little stems for you guys and you can put them into your tracks, or maybe I'll even do like little patch packs here and there. We'll see how this kind of like transforms into more of an interactive experience with you guys, as I feel it would be cool to have like little patches that I made in your guys' music, see how you use them. That's the whole joys of the creative process, is like the collaborative aspect of music creating with analog synths. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you next week where we're going to start exploring the synthesizers more. I hope you have an awesome one, and I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.